Dorit Kemsley may be long-winded, but the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has gone viral for an act that happened in pure silence. The Bravo Liberty smoked a cigarette during the season 14 premiere and addressed her meme-worthy moment during a Tuesday, November 20, appearance on Watch What Happens Live. "Is that the first time we've seen you smoking on this show?" Host Andy Cohen asked Dorit, 48, in the clubhouse, alongside Vanderpump Rules star Lala Kent. Dorit replied, "Yeah, I've got, yeah." Lala, 34, chimed in and applauded the Beverly Hills housewife for being able to smoke a cigarette while flying down the canyon in the Hollywood Hills. "You know what? I was actually being chased by paparazzi," Dorit revealed. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14 premiere aired hours before Dorit's appearance on Watch What Happens Live. During her opening scene with co-star Erika Jayne, Dorit revealed that she and her husband, Paul P.K. Kemsley, separated after 9 years of marriage. Later in the episode, the fashion designer shared her official separation statement, which she posted via Instagram in May. "We as a couple have been subject to a lot of speculation about our marriage. We have had our struggles over the last few years and continue to work through them as two people who love each other and share two amazing children together," the estranged couple wrote in a joint statement at the time. "To safeguard our deep friendship and maintain a harmonious environment for our children, we have made the mutual and difficult decision to take some time apart and reevaluate our relationship while we prioritize our children." Dorit and PK, 57, share kids Jagger and Phoenix. While Dorit's co-stars read the announcement on camera, she drove down the Hollywood Hills with her windows down with a cigarette in hand. Watch What Happens Live shared a clip of Dorit addressing her smoking scene via Instagram, and fans shared their love for the moment in the comment section. "Loving this smokin', telling Kyle off Dorit," one person wrote. A second fan commented, "Iconic scene, will go down in Housewives history." 7 months before Dorit and PK announced their separation in May, In Touch reported that Dorit and PK were living separate lives since August 2023. Paul is apparently heartbroken, an insider revealed at the time. "She's been telling people that she fell out of love with him, but they agreed to keep it a secret for now so it doesn't affect the show." That being said, Dorit shared a glimpse inside their marriage woes during that RHOBH season 13 reunion. "PK was drinking a lot, and he's a drinker. I just think that it's very difficult to have clear-headed conversations when he's drinking so much," she explained. "He gave up drinking. He's actually been sober for, I think, 49 days. That was a very pivotal moment." Dorit echoed the same sentiment during the season 14 premiere. The weight of the crown. The silence in the grand, sprawling mansion was a luxury Dorit Kemsley rarely afforded herself. Usually, it was filled with the joyful chaos of Jagger and Phoenix, the low hum of staff, or the booming laughter of PK, often accompanied by the clinking of ice in a heavy glass. But today, the silence pressed in, thick and suffocating, like the velvet drapes pulled tightly against the California sun. It had been a long, slow unraveling, this marriage of 9 years. Not a sudden, dramatic explosion, but a gradual fraying of threads, each strain pulling tighter until the fabric of their shared life felt thin, almost translucent. For years, they had played the part, the glamorous couple, the fashion designer and the music manager, navigating the glittering, often brutal, landscape of Beverly Hills. They had built an empire of appearances, a fortress of curated smiles and perfectly angled family photos. But behind the polished facade, cracks had begun to spiderweb. PK's drinking had been a shadow, growing longer and darker with each passing year. It wasn't the raucous, party animal kind of drinking, not always. More often, it was a quiet, insidious companion, dulling the edges of his once sharp wit, blurring the lines of their conversations. Dorit had tried everything: gentle suggestions, firm ultimatums, silent pleas. She'd watched him give it up, for 49 days, a brief, fragile period of hope that had ultimately crumbled under the weight of old habits. The clear-headed conversations she craved had remained elusive, replaced by a fog of avoidance and unspoken resentments. "It's just hard, Dorit," he'd mumbled one night, his eyes distant, fixed on some invisible point beyond her. The pressure. All of it. She knew the pressure. She lived it too, every single day. The pressure to be perfect, to be entertaining, to be real for the cameras, while simultaneously hiding the most profound truths of her existence. The irony was a bitter taste on her tongue. The decision to separate had been mutual, yet agonizing. It wasn't a sudden revelation, but a slow, painful acknowledgement that they were drowning, and perhaps, separately, they might find air. They had drafted the statement together, words chosen with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel, designed to protect, to soften, to deflect, to safeguard our deep friendship and maintain a harmonious environment for our children. The words felt hollow in her mouth, even as she typed them into her phone, ready for the world to consume. She looked at the framed photo on her bedside table, PK, Jagger, Phoenix, and herself, all beaming, bathed in golden light. A perfect family. A perfect lie. The thought made her stomach churn. Soon, the world would know. Soon, the carefully constructed illusion would shatter, piece by painful piece, across social media feeds and tabloid headlines. And she, Dorit Kemsley, the woman who always had a perfectly coiffed response, a dazzling smile, and a designer outfit for every occasion, felt utterly, terrifyingly exposed. The Canyon Drive. The day of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14 premiere dawned with an unsettling quiet, a prelude to the storm that Dorit knew was coming. Her separation statement, drafted weeks ago, was sent to drop simultaneously with the episode. It was a calculated move, a desperate attempt to control the narrative, to present a united front, even as their lives fractured. She had filmed the opening scene with Erika Jayne earlier that morning, the cameras capturing the raw, vulnerable confession. It felt surreal, discussing the intimate details of her failing marriage with a friend, knowing millions would soon be privy to every inflection of her voice, every flicker of emotion in her eyes. The weight of it all was immense, a crushing burden she carried beneath her perfectly tailored blazer. After the filming wrapped, a restless energy consumed her. The house felt too small, the air too thick. She needed to move, to escape the suffocating silence and the ghosts of a life that was no longer theirs. She grabbed her keys, a designer handbag, and, almost instinctively, a pack of cigarettes she rarely touched, a relic from a wilder, less polished past. The sleek car glided through the winding roads of the Hollywood Hills, the windows down, the warm California air whipping through her hair. It was a rare moment of unfiltered freedom, a brief respite from the constant performance. The sun, usually her ally in creating that perfect glow, felt harsh today, exposing every tired line, every unspoken worry. Then she saw them. A flash of chrome, a glint of a lens. Paparazzi. They were always there, lurking, waiting, like vultures circling a wounded animal. Today, she was the wounded animal. They knew. They always knew. The chase began subtly, a car appearing in her rearview mirror, then another, their engines a low growl behind her. Her jaw tightened. This was it, the public spectacle. The moment her private pain became fodder for headlines. A surge of defiance, sharp and unexpected, coursed through her veins. They wanted a show, she'd give them one, but not the one they expected. Her hand reached for the cigarette pack, her fingers fumbling slightly as she pulled one out. She hadn't smoked regularly in years, not since her early 20s, before the children, before the fame, before the relentless scrutiny. But today, the craving was primal, a desperate need for a tangible release, a cloud of smoke to momentarily obscure the harsh reality. She lit it, the flame a small, defiant beacon in the vastness of the canyon. The first drag was harsh, burning her throat, but then a strange calm settled over her. The smoke curled lazily from her lips, a silent declaration. She was being chased, her heart pounding, her life crumbling, and yet, in that moment, she was simply a woman, driving down a canyon, smoking a cigarette. There was a raw, unvarnished truth to it, a rebellion against the carefully constructed image she had maintained for so long. The cameras flashed, a flurry of blinding light in her peripheral vision. She didn't flinch. She just kept driving, the wind tearing at her hair, the cigarette burning slowly between her fingers, its ash scattering into the wind. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated silence, a stark contrast to the cacophony of her life. And in that silence, an unexpected sense of peace, however fleeting, descended. The viral cloud. The internet, a beast of 1,000,000 eyes and 1,000 tongues, devoured the moment. It wasn't the carefully crafted separation statement that truly captivated them, though that certainly generated its own buzz. It was the cigarette. The silent, defiant puff of smoke, captured in a fleeting frame as Dorit Kemsley, the epitome of Beverly Hills polish, drove down a canyon, her windows down, her life in apparent disarray.